My friends, it is such a privilege on this Memorial Day to welcome Jay Clementi to join us for This Is the Day. Jay is a superstar songwriter, and he has devoted much of his career to honoring our troops and his songwriting and his care for troops. And especially today, we remember the fallen, those who have given us the great freedoms that we have. So, Jay, welcome to This Is the Day. And can you tell us a bit about how this college football player became a songwriter?
Well, Father Erikson, thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here, and really, it's a blessing to be here on this day, and thank you for having me on. It's so wonderful to see you again. I haven't seen you in person, I guess, since Colorado. I think right. Since the retreat. But yeah, well, thanks for asking. I grew up in a musical family, and we were, music was a big thing, and so was sports, and family was big in our family too. I mean, gosh, and grew up in a Catholic family as well, and playing music with my dad growing up, and then starting a band in college, and we had as I was playing football through college, I had a big band, and a big country band, and we started winning some battle of the bands and started kind of getting noticed, and then I ended up moving to Nashville to try to see what I could do in old Music City.
Well, that's a great journey, Jay. Am I right that journey continues in your family with your kids?
Yeah, with my two boys. Yeah. So, I mean, when I moved to Nashville, I've been here for around 24 years, I guess is what it is. And, I moved here and gosh, I gotten kind of entrenched in the community and figured out I didn't know anything about writing songs. I thought I did. I moved here and I learned I didn't know much about it. So, I just kind of immersed myself in the community, and it's a great collaborative community in terms of songwriting. Yes. And so I started learning. I went to the woodshed and started figuring it out. And I was fortunate. I met some amazing people along the way. And one of them was a guy named Radney Foster, and Radney ended up kind of introducing me to Songwriting with Soldiers. We didn't know what it was called back then, but it was the first incarnation of it. But along the way, I had a band that got a record deal on a major label, and worked on that for a while. And then I just started, I had a wonderful publisher who said, hey, if you just start writing songs, I think you can make a living, doing writing songs, and you don't have to tour as much. So I started doing that, I've been very fortunate over the years, and I've really enjoyed doing it and writing songs, and try to get them on the radio and help artists, further their careers.
Yes. Well, you mentioned immersing yourself into a community, and you have done that so beautifully with Songwriting with Soldiers now as the musical director. So tell me about that community and how it is that you became so involved. You mentioned Radney's invitation.
Yeah.
And what led you now to becoming the musical director?
Well, I think the journey starts I was around 11 years ago, actually. I mean, Songwriting with Soldiers really started in 2012 officially. So we have our big 10th anniversary, kind of coming up. This year is a big year, but we had two retreats prior to that we didn't know what it was going to be called yet. And it was a great singer-songwriter from Austin named Darden Smith. And also this an incredible woman named Mary Judd, who's a co-founder, who's the co-founder of the program. And she was an expert, in positive psychology, and she's a very creative person. And so we brought those two things together, songwriting and what Mary Judd kind of brought to the table, and it was encompassed in this very creative environment. And we started having these retreats, and we didn't know exactly what they were, but we just knew that they were special and some amazing things were happening at these retreats. And so they kind of officially started calling it Songwriting with Soldiers in 2012. And we blasted off from there. There was Radney and Darden and I were the first songwriters to do it. And it's been a special deal. And I mean, at Songwriting with Soldiers, I mean, what we do, we use collaborative songwriting to expand creativity, connections, and strengths. That's kind of the words that we live by. But basically, we pair professional singer-songwriters, folks that have had a lot of critical acclaim, or they've had number one hits, or they have a very wonderful repertoire behind them, and we pair them with veterans and their families, and to help them kind of tell a piece of their story. And then so we do retreats all across the country, and and I became the music director 2 years ago. So I've been, writing with these folks, writing in this organization for a long time, and just so blessed to do it. I absolutely love it.
Well, you do it so well. I can speak as one who participated in the October retreat, and you brought words and emotions out of me that I did not know I had. As an Iraqi war veteran, as a medical group chaplain, and together we wrote the song "Born to Bless the Fallen," and that's why we invited you on This Is the Day, on Memorial Day, because everyone is called to honor and bless the fallen. Does anything stand out with you about our songwriting session or about the song itself?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, it's, this year, we were going to write with over 900 veterans, our organization. But I'll tell you what, every single one of them is just marked into my memory. They all have something incredibly special about them, and ours was no different. I mean, I was, when you started talking, it was so compelling. Your story was so compelling, and I really hadn't co-written about that perspective before. I mean, and it was fascinating, and we talked for a long time, but there was just some stuff started coming out that I was so inspired. I was inspired musically. I was inspired, lyrically. I was loving the stuff that I was getting back. And all we try to do, was Songwriting with Soldiers, it's not therapy. And all we try to do is meet the person across from us right where they are. And you had 1,000 songs in you, but you know what? You trusted in what was in the room that day. And we both just wanted to create something. We sat there and we had a blank screen, and we had 2.5 hours to write a song. And you know what? It just took both of us going back and forth and listening, and you opening up your heart and opening up some doors that maybe hadn't been opened before. And then when that happens and you trust in the process, some amazing things started coming out. And the stuff that you started talking about just started leading me musically. And then I started putting the puzzle together out of all the amazing things that you were saying. And we started linking it together, and it just became this Born to Bless the Fallen. And I'm very proud of that song.
Well, I am too, Jay. You really helped me articulate what my life is all about.
Wow.
Caring for everyone, but the call to be a military chaplain and to be with our troops who are seriously wounded and dying was the greatest honor of my journey as a priest. And so you helped me articulate that. And our viewers can listen to the song on the Songwriting with Soldiers website. There's also a YouTube video, and it's on Spotify. So we'd invite our viewers to find the song on the internet. And it's a beautiful reflection on Memorial Day about what we're all called to do, and that is with great and deep reverence to honor the fallen and the price that they've paid for our lives.
Absolutely. And just appreciate what you do and what you have done. And I know the first words, I think that really kind of got that chorus going in the direction that I knew it had to go. And when, you said, on the last face they see before the face of God, give them peace and comfort as they're moving on. And I mean, you said it, but it spoke in melody to me, and it was very, very powerful and the catalyst to get everything going. So I appreciate you opening up your heart, and it couldn't be easy, some of the things that we talked about, but we have something beautiful to show for it. And I think there's a ripple effect to music, and there's people that need to hear things, and all that mattered that day is that you and I believed in the truth of this song, that it was the right thing. But it's funny, there's a ripple effect of music, and it could cause a stir, and it could help some people too. So
yes,
I appreciate you having me on here so much, and I hope you'll have a great rest of your day, and thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless you, Jay, and God bless the fallen.
Amen. Thank you, buddy.
Take care.